Hello everyone and welcome to the second race of the... yeah, no, that's all correct. I was checking my audio, it's all good. So yeah, hello, thank you very much for joining our second race of the SSR Grand Prix Classics Championship. 7th season going. It's transformed a lot since the first season, although the last... since season 5 I think it's been pretty consistent in the format. Including me as commentator. Hello, I'm Vindict. You are on my channel. You are on my Twitch or YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining. And we are watching a race today. Currently 14 people on the server. Still in practice, of course. So more can join. And we're expecting more to join. But yeah, hopefully we will have a couple more. And if you do want to join these races, there is a link for you in the Twitch chat. And it should also be in the YouTube chat if I don't forget. Yeah, it should have appeared in the Twitch chat, and we'll pin that. It's easy to find for anybody who's interested in joining these races, whether you're experienced or not. Very happy to have more drivers. So, what's going on? Well, last race, our winner Dikra extended essentially like a little bit of a win streak. He's the reigning champion. He's not here right now. His old teammate is Domska, who finished, I believe he finished second last race. Close race between him and the third place finisher. The third place finisher would be Randers. We can of course look at all that in a bit, exactly how that all went. First, let me look at the calendar. So currently on the 15th of February, as you can see, the start of the season is pretty sparse. We had a race 2 weeks ago. We'll have another race in 2 weeks. For now, we are on the Nürburgring. And yeah, all the race at the same time, provided you live in Europe. If you live in a place without daylight saving time, or where it works opposite if you're in the southern hemisphere, do keep that in mind. But I'm just showing the times as they will be in Germany, or the Netherlands, or, well, any of the countries that share the same time zone. And let's have a quick look at the standings, because they will reflect how the race went last time around. Holding myself out here a little bit, hopefully getting a couple more frames per second, because I feel like the computer is struggling, but we're okay. So, Dikra, of course, won last race, got the fastest lap, 26 points behind his name. He looked dominant last race. Absolutely dominant. Yeah, a little bit of a worrying start, I think, for the rest of the grid. Because if you had any hope of maybe taking the season, what looked to be pretty open, if that's how Dikra drives, it's going to be very tough to beat. Domska hasn't given up hope yet, as he said last race. And Randers also hasn't given up hope yet. Geralt and Dustin will also be feisty, happy to fight. And their team, of course, leading the team championship for the Benetton Renault team. Yeah, still have hope to win a couple of races and maybe, I don't know, win the championship. It's still early days. There was still only 1 race out of 8, but the pace differential looks worrying. Gaffalo, the other Ferrari teammate with Dikra, finished P8 last time, followed by Sorrow. We got Daniel Gilligan, Gomestos, who we'll get to the penalties in a bit, but I think he got a warning, so he's actually alright. And JJ finished P12, got the last of the points. I think also got a bit of a warning. We'll get to that in a bit. Then the rest of the standings. Oh look, it scrolls. I've made an upgrade. I'm so happy about this. It's a tiny animation, but I think it's one list. It makes it look proper. Not everything is updated yet, but this is one of the, I think, 2 that I've updated. More to come. Not to finish 13th last race, but didn't score any points because I only go down to 12th. I got Michael Mustache, Onufmi, Silver, Ditto, who was the last of the finishers. Now with Jetlin, Apex, Radadine, and Domi, who didn't finish, and Domi has since retired, I think, from the season entirely. At least he's given up his permanent race seat. So that's the status there. Quick look at the team standings. Ferrari's actually leading, so some misinformation from me, but of course 26 points from from a Championship League, the D crowd will do that. And then we've got 40 Grand Prix behind that, tied with Benetton on points. One race, that's pretty impressive. We've got the Williams team, the Red Bull Sauber 4 team, Tyrrell, McLaren, Minardi the last of the point scorers, and then Ligier, Jordan and Lotus still haven't scored at all. So, what have we got for today? Well, Marcus currently has the fastest time. Marcus looks so impressive. Quite a lot, actually, since he's been racing here and since he found his groove. He's been absolutely a top contender in quite a few races. Definitely one to watch today as well. Hopefully he will get his win. I'm still waiting for him to get his win that I know that he will get. If Decra isn't, I think Decra is joining today, but if he's not, then we'll increase his chances. But I was expecting a bigger grid. It's not the end of the session yet, and I saw a 15th person earlier. So yeah, hopefully we got at least one more person. I don't know what the holdup is there. A little bit of a collision. We'll get to that. Let's see, who else do we have? We have actually a new driver, an Italian driver in the Jordan team. Name being Das, or Das, I don't know. I don't know what the word does sound like in Italian, so. And I won't try. I will not try. Yeah, he's driving with us. A bit of an unknown. Well, we haven't seen him drive yet. There seems to be a little bit of lag. Hopefully that's not an issue. I've had some reports of lag, not only from my PC, but also from servers that were being used before the race. Hopefully there's no issues there. And before we go on any further, I do want to go quickly through some penalties. Nothing too big, but a couple of interesting things. So first, I don't see Ditto, who finished last race, last of the finishes. Got a 5-second time penalty for collision at the start. So yeah, that's unfortunate, plus 5 seconds, but I don't think it didn't change anything for him. So that's a good warning for what happens, and next time it was a race start, a rain covered start, so you know that's not gonna be repeated so quickly. But yeah, no, a good reason to try and be more careful in the future. Try to find a nice car to look at. Also, Ferrari's always nice. Then we've got JJ. He had a qualifying ban, and he is next race he joins will not be today. Maybe he will not be allowed to qualify. Reasoning being, well, he broke too late before the right-hander, the big sweeping right-hander. We saw a beautiful overtake from Domska on Randers. Broke a little bit too late there behind someone, pushed them off. If you hit someone in the back, just like in real life, it's probably your fault. You got a qualifying ban for that. Yeah, and there were a couple of warnings. One from Mika Moustache for ignoring blue flags. We did see a little bit of that on the stream, so hopefully he doesn't get an opportunity at all to improve his behavior. Hopefully he will be in the front and will not get a single blue flag. But if he does, ooh, that's a spin for Cavalo out of that corner. And we'll get to the track in a bit, but that's not too surprising. Spoilers. Yeah. And there was one more warning. Let me see for whom. Oh, I've scrolled over it twice. Yeah, Gomestos. He was given a warning for driving standards. I need to read exactly what that means. I think he broke too late into turn 1. That's kind of what happened, and he kind of tried to force it. He kind of overshot. It was a small incident, and it was a little bit exacerbated by the gap closing a little late. So I gave a warning. But yeah, something to improve there as well. Generally not too harsh with the penalties, although we have seen in the past an outright ban for, well, everything because of poor driving standards, and it comes to a point where we don't want to do that, but if the rest of the racing is so clean, you kind of have an obligation to you know, to do these things to keep it clean. Okay, so let's quickly look at the track, and we'll do that with Marcus currently fastest on track for practice. Doesn't mean anything, but that's what's happening right now. Now, this track is super interesting. If you notice in real life, of course, there is a big track next to it. Oh, the performance is really bad, unfortunately. Don't know if that's on my PC side, and don't know what I will do to fix it. I will try a couple of things, hopefully improve it, but it will be as it is. There's not much we can do about it, so it will be as it is. Yeah, tricky little track, and out of this corner, a hairpin. What we saw earlier, a mistake from Cavallor, is not too surprising, because these cars are actually a little tricky to handle, even in the dry. And on acceleration, it can be super easy to spin the tires, cause a spin. Out of a hairpin like that, especially, you're turning a lot. It's very easy to induce a slide like that. That's why that happened, and there's a couple of corners here as well. Well, he's not going to continue. A lot of people actually... Is something going on? No, this person's still turning. If I see two people at the same time doing the same thing, I fear disconnections, but we're not there yet. We're not disconnected. We get to keep going. Very good. Okay. I'll quickly check my system, see if there's anything that's causing big issues. I think it's literally just, yep, Automobilista doing most of it. That's interesting. It seems that OBS is hogging my graphics card. I don't know why it's doing that. It might have a bit of a... It's not really a memory leak if it's on the graphics card, is it? Oh, graphical memory is a memory, but yeah. I think that's what it's measuring. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. I can try... Can I? I think... Yeah, this is still running somehow. Hang on. Can I... Does this help? Well, I think... Let's leave it at a maybe it helps. Okay. We'll hopefully have some improvement on their performance. Yeah. We'll go into qualifying in a moment anyway. Nothing important happened yet. All we have is a Domschka who has improved this time and moves up to the top of the timing sheets. Domschka is doing a solid job already. I'm not sure he was fully happy with that P2. It's a lot better than anything else, like anything lower, of course. I'll take what he can get with such a strong performance from Dikra. But today, I'm sure he wants more. If it slips away from him today again, in favor of Dikra, he will be in trouble. He knows that. If he wants to retake the championship. Of course, he was the champion of Season 5. And in Season 6, like, Dikra was just incredible. Oh, ha 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 ha. I just heard that I've not updated. Oh, that's a good thing. I got notified. I didn't update the stream title. Hang on. We shall do that real quick. Did something to prepare this. But give us a moment. Gosh. I'm out of it for like a week and a bit, and everything is everything is going wrong. Okay, we've got it. And Stealth Sorrow to look at. Well, he's also crossing the finish line. All the last runs being finished up. There you go. Okay, we've fixed the title. Thank you, Dustin, for letting me know. currently in P5 after practice, and we'll to reward him for telling me about this, we'll watch his lap no matter who gets out first. I'm not sure if that's a reward or extra pressure, but that's what we're doing. As we wait for the session to tick over, I get the feel... Oh, it's horribly lagging. I'm not sure what's going on here. Hopefully that cleans up a little bit. I think... I'm not going to do it now, but I will have to reset my PC after this. I'll just restart it and check some things. Yeah, I think the performance has improved a little bit. There's still some issues here and there. Okay, we're quickly going to run a 1-minute ad, and we'll be back in a bit. For those who are not subscribed, we will not miss anything of qualifying, trust me. And we're going to look at Dustin, as promised. Sit on his roof, and there will be a car ahead. But as promised, that's her, by the way. We do not care. So, for the YouTube audience, because I've you know, bullied Twitch into an ad break. Well, what to expect today? I have no idea yet. Dikra is here. I do expect him to be strong again. He is just so on top of it. Even Donska said he was impressed with his lap times when Dikra did practice. Oh, the performance is really bad. Sorry if that's ruining the viewing experience a little bit. I do think that as a result, roof cam is maybe not the best. I'm debating if I should restart the computer now, but I think we're a little too late. We might not make it back to the race, so let's not do that. And welcome back after ads. We're still struggling with a little bit of performance issues. This PC needs a little break, I fear. I hope it's not thermal throttling. If it is, I'll need to do something about that. It's a bit cold outside, so I would hope not. But it has also been working very hard. Okay, I'm gonna try a roof cam, because we do want to see what the track actually looks like. It kind of starts here after the chicane into this hairpin, and you just want a good exit out of here. Good exit is half the work. There would be the DRS normally, but these cars of course don't have it. Brake for this corner, it's not good enough for a roof, I'm afraid. We're gonna look at here. Through the first corner is a hairpin. Second corner, very tight left-hander. Want to have a little bit of exit speed out of here, but really you want to set up for this corner, which is a left turning into a right corner, and here you want the exit speed. So it's a little bit of a straight here. Just a little bit. Brake for a sweeping left-hander downhill. Very, very tricky. Braking zone into a right-hander. And there we go. You're out of there. Very, very good. A little bit of a curved straight line. Don't question it. And hairpin corner to the right. Now, accelerate, because you're entering the best part of the circuit by far. Left and right through the Schumacher S's. Very fast corners into a braking zone here. Want to get a good exit here. Line up to the left. Carry as much speed through here as you can. And now you've got a long straight ahead of you. Maybe an overtaking opportunity on what is next, although it is very tricky. We've seen it before. Braking zone into the chicane. Finally try to get a good exit out of there as well. Through this corner, and there we go. That is a full lap. I fear... Yeah, I think the struggles are a bit too much. We're going to try stopping the recording, or at least pausing it momentarily. We're going to stop it, and hopefully that improves performance a little bit. This is a little shocking. Big apologies there. There's not much better, I'm afraid. Yeah, I think it's OBS recording It's causing issues because I said stop recording and it's not stopping. It's not stopping. Oh my goodness, we may have to restart OBS. Oh, that's tragic. Okay. Technical difficulties, please stand by, but after the first few shots have been fired, Marcus is on top, followed by Randers. The gap is small, followed by Geralt. Gap is still pretty small, and Domska is right behind there as well. Top 5 all around 2/10 behind. Oh, 2/10, within 2/10 of each other. Then Dustin is a little bit further away. Cavalo even further away. Then we've got Dustin, new driver. Silva, Nota Bene, Gomestos, and Michael Moustache. Okay. It's stopped recording permanently now. That's very good. It almost hasn't improved yet, but maybe it will. We're gonna have to update OBS after this and figure out what is causing this. So, Marcus fastest, Randers second, and Geralt Smith third. A little surprise actually. Geralt, I thought, was a little bit swallowed by the quality of the likes of Domska, of Randers, of Marcus. And while Marcus and Randers are still faster, he is up there with them. Domska I still expect to improve, and the big missing name, of course, the reigning champion, Dikra, hasn't set a time yet. Still see, unfortunately, I believe. It's a little bit better, but the car's also very bouncy, so it's not like the viewing experience is extremely good on the roof. On a straight line, it's passable. I feel like it's improved a little bit. Dikra starting his lap then. To the second and the third corner here. Such a tricky little section of the track. In heavier cars, it is very, very challenging to get right. But we got, well, this F1 car absolutely flying through it. It almost looks like Dikra is sliding through that corner. Just the faster you are, the more it looks like you're actually sliding. I think he's running up to someone. Okay, the person went out of the way. I'm not sure how voluntary that was, but solves one problem for him. I do think somebody else has joined. It is JJ, who will not be qualifying, but he is here. Very good. Very happy to see that indeed. Still P1, the times have not changed near the top. The only person that I think is going to make a difference there, is the one we're watching right now. No time yet for Dikra. Championship leader after one race. Or the way of saying he won the last race. And reigning champion, of course, after a dominant Season 6. Season 7 going to be any different? Crosses the line. What's the time gonna be? Only a P5. I say only. The gap is not big. The gap is not big to the lead. But Marcus is still faster. If Marcus can improve that time, we'll have a very strong case for a pole position today. And that is music to his ears, I am sure. Does Marcus improve? I've learned that the line is very late, but not this late, so it does not improve. Looks like it's at a very strong first lap and is now struggling to make it any better. Sorrow then, he is 2/10 behind the leader. Very strong pace from him as well. It looks like from 3rd to 6th. Gonna have a race on our hands if this pace is representative of the race pace as well. In a relative sense. I do want to ask people on in the chat in Twitch right now. Can you tell me if the sound is coming through all right? If it is, then we'll keep going. Otherwise, I will restart the stream. Because I'm not confident. Sorry, I did not improve on that tour, but starting a new one. A little bit further behind. I would expect Dustin to be further up there. He has not improved yet. Beyond his 9/10 behind. Cavallor. I don't know exactly what to make of this pace. The gap between Dustin and Sorrow is pretty big. Oh, and there's a big improvement actually from Marcus, from the leader. It's 2/10 more. Or less, I guess. In a lap, and Randers and Geralt kind of left in the dust, it seems. Geralt, oh, was it Geralt? No, Randers. Randers is crossing the line in a bit. Is he gonna get closer? He does, but the gap is small. That he actually improves. Like, he's not much closer. Dikra is also working towards an improvement, about halfway through the track on the opposite side of the start-finish straight. But Domska finally dethrones Marcus, and the gap. Look at that gap. Dustin also joins the fray. Much closer. But it's 6/10 behind Domska. What did Domska pull out of his hat? That is a crazy time from him, putting a lot of people within a second. But away, like further away than half a second. And you know, Cavallor and everyone behind him is 2 seconds away. That is crazy talk. Very nice job from Domska. See, Apex has also decided to voluntarily ban himself. Might be strategy if he's expecting a chaotic start. This is not something I would gamble on with this group. The top 8, at least, I think will be very clean. Even on, I will say, even on the Nürburgring, because the first few corners, you see how tight they are. You do have a lot of space, but it kind of, you know, your car's a turning circle. It squeezes you to the outside, and if everybody squeezes in the same direction, you can have issues. And then one person could, you know, dive on the inside and ruin it for everyone. Marcus crossed the line, but no improvement. Dikra crossed the line. There is an improvement, but that's 3/10 behind, roughly. Domska has absolutely, well, destroyed the whole timing sheet. He set it on fire. He's done such a good job there. And nobody able to match him. Marcus is working on it. Okay, that still looks horrendous. Roof cam is off today. Marcus is working on an improvement. It's gonna take a lot. Dustin crossed the line, starting a lap, and then Randers. What's Randers gonna do? 6.5 tenths to make up. That's much easier said than done. In terms of racing, these gaps that you're seeing, from P1 to P2 even, that's kind of big. Half a second, like down to Dustin, that's an enormous gap. Randers is like so far away. And there's like 7 people that are already quite far, like 6 people I guess, that are already quite far away. P8 down. Yeah, they just don't find the same pace as the leaders. As the aliens that we have, well, clearly 7 off. Oh, and Randers makes a mistake. That lap is gone. Really pushing for it there. He's gonna have to restart there. Not many opportunities left to beat Domska. And Domska's driving out now. He will get a chance, overtaking his teammate there. Will get a chance to try and improve. Sorrow also driving out. He's gonna try and improve. I think now, if you make a mistake, that's it. Unless you keep driving and you still make it to the finish line. Dustin, I think, will be one of the first off the top to set a lap time. Quickly looking at the map here. We actually have Dikra, who's setting up for it. You could... Oh, no! No, Dikra is going into the pits. Maybe he has some damage or ran out of fuel. But that is actually kind of a disaster. Currently in P3, that's going to be where he starts at the very best. That's, yeah, he's got to drive out, but probably just to change, try a setup change. Dustin's going to be the first one to finish his qualifying. How is he going to do this? Well, just drive fast, I guess. It's 6/10 though. That is, as I said, enormous. We're the first to respond. Marcus crossed the finish line as well, starting another lap. 1.5 tenths for him to improve. Not as big of a gap. Certainly a gap. I see. Ride or Die has stopped on track as well. He had a bit of an issue. Seems alright. Qualifying has now ended. Anyone who crosses the line. Notabene first across the line. Take the flag. Is it an improvement? Well, yeah, it is. P11 for Notabene. That's, ooh, doesn't improve. He's still best of the rest, unfortunately, after Cavalo. That's how it is. Gerald Smith will be the first one of the top 7 to take the flag. Is he going to improve? Is he going to be anywhere near Domska? Crosses the line. No. No. Nothing. Dikra. Well, I mean, he wasn't going to improve anyway. Dustin goes into the pits. No improvement for him there. Marcus then. Marcus. Please, anything. We've got nothing against what is certainly a strong performance from Domska. But it would be so cool if Marcus could improve it. Can he do it? No. Marcus P2. Randers then. He's done crazier things in qualifying before. But is it gonna... no way, right? No way. No, he improved, but it's not by much. Not enough for sure. Sorrow is coming in, and Michael is gonna try and improve. He improves, but it's not nearly enough to get close to anyone. That's all she wrote. That is a very crazy qualifying. The dominance displayed by Domska, absolutely incredible. We're really quickly going to hit you with an ad. And then we can keep going. So, the YouTube audience, so quickly updating what exactly happened before we present before we present the qualifying results. Got a little bit of a break here, so that is really good. Riot Die, Apex, and JJ, of course, last. Okay. Yeah, the whole Minardi team starting from the back. That is probably a little... Oh, JJ was forced to. Yeah, beside that. And there was a little bit of an incident. Michelle apparently blocked Ride or Die. Or Cavalo and... Either Cavalo or Dikra. Probably Dikra, actually. I don't know what happened to him. That can't have been part of the plan. P3 for him. Quick drink for me. 1 second. Okay. Okay, Twitch shots are still going. There's always the most exciting part of the stream. That is a joke. But it's good to have a little break. Now, I wanted to try something real quick. Alright, so, really quickly, we're gonna close the overview. Check if... nope, does not. We are going to show you the starting grid. We got Domska in P1, followed by Marcus VR. Two very strong drivers. Domska so quick today. And Dikra right behind it. A very strong top three. Definitely something to watch there. Then we've got Dustin in P4, Randers in P5, Gerald Smith in P6 and Sora in P7. Definitely the fast drivers of the grid. Then we have a massive gap. Michael next. Michael, a little bit in between, but it's going to be a no man's land, I think, all race. And I'm not sure he's going to have a great time. But yeah, hopefully he gets a good race. Then we've got Cavallor, Das on his first outing in P10. We'll be happy with that. We've got Notabene, Silver, Gomestos, Michael Moustache, Ride or Die, and the Manali team. Oh, back here. The Manali team has not qualified. Apex in 16th and JJ in 17th place. JJ is not on the grid, so it's only Apex. What happened to JJ? Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright. Trying something a little bit different here. We're gonna stream standing up. See how that is. Alright, so do I have a better camera? Probably, maybe. We're looking. We are checking. That's behind. We do not have a better camera. We do have Domska having a start, but Marcus, I think, had a much better start. He's on the inside as well. Side by side already, and on the outside is Dikra looking. Ooh, Marcus is playing it safe. Late on the brakes for Domska. Otherwise, it looks very, very clean. Dikra on the inside. And actually, oh, there's a big crash. There's a massive crash. I think that's Sorrow causing a... maybe causing... I don't know if it was him. But Dikra already side by side with Domska. We'll quickly look what happened there later. We had Dikra with a very nice switchback up to P1. It's whatever you do. It's Dikra is super fast again. He might be low on fuel. He might have decided to fuel lower here because there will be a lot of different strategies today. Dikra into P1, then Domska is not keeping up with the pace. Randers close behind as well. Coming out of that the melee fairly well. We've got Gerald and Dustin, and then a bunch of people have crashed out. Sorrow is all the way in the back. Apex is ahead of him. Then Marcus, he's overtaking people. He's trying to fight his way back. Currently in P13. Those are the two largest victims of what happened there. And I'm sure the stewards will have a, well, I don't know, fun time. Certainly a bit of time. They'll spend a bit of time on that. So, Marcus tries to fight his way forwards there. Very tricky to do it there. It's possible. It's possible. I maintain that it is possible. But it's not easy. And it's also, that's of course Notabene, who is also fighting with the car ahead. Who's Mika Moustache. Marcus is actually quite slow on the straights. It seems like Notabene has boxed himself in a little bit. He's quite fast on the straights. It makes it difficult. Oh, it is a big mistake, Notabene. Spun out. Didn't hit a wall, so he's alright. Sorrow is in the pits. And he has quit, unfortunately. That is our first retirement. Sorrow, after a very unfortunate starting incident, had to DNF. But the biggest beneficiary of that race start is Dikra, who after 2 laps is 2 seconds ahead. I can guarantee you that car is lighter than any other car on the field. That is not pure pace. It's pace, not pure pace. His car's a little lighter. It also means he will have to stop early. I don't know what that means for the strategy. I don't know if that will be faster. That's gonna have to be shown in this race. We're going to find out all together. Randers, would I say close to Domska? He's still seeing him. 2 seconds behind. I don't know if that's all fuel difference or... Well, Domska is very fast on this track. He has proven it. That might also be why Dikra decided, you know, I need to fuel less. Try to get ahead and try to win on strategy. Michael is fighting with Das. Trying to send it... Oh, I don't know what happened there. I cannot explain what happened there. Maybe that's a bit of lag? His car just seemed to jump. It's like he pressed the jump button. But that's not ideal. Marcus VR very close to Gomistos. He's fighting his way back to the front of the field. Having a little bit of success in that. Moving up into 10th place. Gomistos, not much to say there. With Das ahead, that will be his next target, and then Michael. As the rest of the field is fairly spread out. We do see Ride or Die fighting Michael Moustache. A little bit of a fight brewing. Apex right behind. It seems like Sorrow has retired because everybody was lagging a lot, and that is interesting to me because it's been quite laggy for me the whole time. I think that's my PC though. I don't know if that's the server as implied, but Apex actually is getting quite close to Ride or Die. Oh, it is getting too close. That is a proper spin there. Ride or Die being knocked out off the track again. Not having a great time here, not a Bennett. Now ahead of Ride or Die, who's dead last. You see Gerald Smith has fallen back a little bit to Michael. Michael getting closer. And there might also be fuel differences. Now I don't know what exactly the implication will be. Otherwise, other than, well, some people will stop earlier. Those who stop earlier will have less fuel. Look at Dekra, he's 6 seconds ahead. Now I say fuel difference. Yeah, fuel difference might be a part of it. But 6 seconds ahead. That is crazy. Dekra is absolutely flying. It might be that he forgot to change his fuel. But even if he stops now, like, he will fall back. Don't get me wrong, he will fall back quite a bit. But he will have done a stop. Maybe that works out better? I can't imagine if it's 5 laps of fuel and then you stop. But 6 seconds ahead is crazy. Did he find something, or was this a mistake that he's now going to have to deal with? Because that is also possible. If he stops now, I think it was a mistake. If he keeps going for 2 more laps, I don't know, maybe. Maybe it's good. What is also good, of course, is a battle, and we've got one right here. Michael behind Gerald. Michael looking on the inside. Gerald Smith, well, kind of having to watch it because Michael is straight by. Gerald is going to try and fight back, but there's just nothing he can do. Michael looks to be a little bit faster. Again, could be fuel difference. Maybe Michael just has a very good long run pace. Dekra didn't stop this lap. Seems like he just has better pace. And Das, I think, has made a mistake. He's dropped quite far back. Ride or Die quite close now. So Apex still close to Moustache. I'm getting close to Moustache. I don't think it was him earlier. Currently in P12. P12, of course, being 1 point. We'll get another one if he manages to pass Moustache. Moving further up the field, it's closing in a little bit. Look at Dustin. He's capturing, he's overtaking Randers, in fact. He's ahead. We've got Randers very close behind. You can see him. Cavallor is in view. Silver is in view. Silver has a very good race so far. Currently in P6. Gerald actually, P8. I don't think he will be happy with that. Marcus VR is closing in on the top now. Past Gomestos and has been running forwards as fast as he can. He has definitely got good pace today. A bit of an unlucky start. It was important to keep fighting, not to give up. And Geralt is going to try to take a position from Silver, who is not where he belongs, strictly speaking. Neither is Michael, to be fair. But yeah, Silver is doing very well here. Oh, and there's a late on the brakes! Arguably too late, and that is... who did he spun around there? I think it's Michael. No? Spun someone around, but I think he left the position to Michael. I think that's what happened. He spun Michael, but left the position to him, and now he has to fight Marcus. Actually, a teammate of Michael immediately punishes the assault. Godsmith being demoted to P9, as Marcus, Michael, and Silver ahead after that exchange of that little group. Dikra, meanwhile, 10 seconds ahead of Domska. Normally, that's about half a pit stop. Half a pit stop difference. Now, if he manages any more than that, this might be the greatest strategy I've ever seen. And it's so great to the point that I don't fully believe that nobody else thought of this. It might be that Marcus thought of this, but Marcus had a bit of a misfortune at the start. Currently in P8. Fighting for P7. Well, it is his teammate, and then there's also Silver ahead. That could get a little bit complicated, and I don't know how his tires are. Our fuel is the main pace decider. Tires are absolutely not irrelevant. Looking on the inside, then can we? No, we cannot reliably watch the roof. Looking on the inside, goes past. A very nice job, well done. Passed into 7. Ahead of him, Silver, who so far is having a great race. Just at the pace that he normally has. Finished P16 last race. Remember, he had a bit of misfortune, to be fair. He was 2 seconds behind in qualifying, like so many, but that does mean that you're in the back of the pack. Marcus was way ahead. Gerald Smith was way ahead. Michael was ahead of Silver. Those people are all behind now. Equally Cavalo in P5. Equally crazy, honestly. A very solid job. Randa's very close to Dustin. Will want that position back. My goodness, what is this? What's going on? Okay, we're back. We should double check our systems again, because this, I've never experienced this before. This is actually crazy. Huh. Well, we'll fix it after stream, because there's nothing we can do about it now. Randus, close behind Dustin, in the slipstream then. Looking on the outside for turn 1. I have to see this from trackside. Ooh, good defense from Dustin, though. He's going to have the opportunity to push him out here. But on the inside, Randus stays for the next corner. And on the next corner, it will be the inside again, but not as great of an exit. And Dustin stays ahead. A very strong defense from the league organizer in Dustin, who is looking to fight for a podium place today. I think he will be very happy with that. Behind Domska and Dikra, it really is a fight for the podium. It looks like Dikra 12 seconds ahead. And it's been 7 full laps, currently on the 8th lap. Surely he's gonna stop soon. And surely other people are not going to stop for a little while. If both of these hold, then there's hope for Domska to win this race. If either of these things are not true, if he's stopping and soon after Domska's stopping, then it's bad news. Very bad news for Domska and his hopes of winning this race. But I think what we're seeing is Dikra is on a 2-stop and Domska is on a 1-stop. I think that's what's going on. And judging by the numbers, if we look at the time difference, if we look at the pace difference, if we look at the fact that Dikra is still driving after 9 laps, I think the 2-stop is faster. And it's not close. Dustin defending against Randers again. Randers now side by side a lot earlier, but he's still on the outside. Crucially, Dustin is keeping him on the outside. Oh, makes a mistake though. That's way too late. Goes wide. And now Randers has the better exit here. The outside here is sometimes better. And this outside can turn into the inside for the next corner. But this is tricky. This is very, very tricky. Very close to each other. Can you get a better exit here? Oh no. Dustin is ahead. And Cavalaw is very, very close, by the way. Cavalaw is now threatening for a podium as well. Which I don't think he was at all thinking about after qualifying. 2 seconds behind the leader, and these people less than a second. I think I would write it off as, well, if I can get P7, it would be nice. But yeah, currently P5 and P3 not far ahead of Cavalaw. Dustin having to fight for his life for his podium position. But you will see also on this track, there is a little bit of a case of, most of the track's boring. This gets really exciting. Turn 1 and a little bit after that gets really exciting. For the rest of it, it is a little bit of following through here. Sometimes somebody can do a move. Generally, there's a bit of a pace difference though. And we do see Dikra now in the pits. Now this is critical. Domska is going to take the lead. Where does Dikra come out is very important though. And it's going to be a little bit of a longer pit stop than normal. Cavalaw also in the pits. And now we see this is a Ferrari strategy. Now, don't get too excited, it is a Ferrari strategy, right? But Dikra is in P4. After all that, he only concedes position to 3 other drivers. In Randers, in Dustin, and in Domska. Now, Randers and Dustin are fighting each other's legs off. So, I don't think those will be an issue for Dikra. Just wait to be on a 2-stop, and so is Michael. Now, that will explain why these people were out of place. Why they were fighting where they were. I don't know why this is a slideshow right now. I don't know what's going on. I think it's because somebody goes into the pits. Something gets rendered that normally doesn't. Now this is insane. This is absolutely crazy. It's looking to improve a little bit. It's Dustin, Dikra, and then Randers. Dikra already made his way past Randers in this slideshow. This is crazy. What is going on here? It's saying Automobilista is using 90% of my graphics card. I think I need to change the what do you call it? The view settings at some point. I'm not going to do that right now because I can't. But yeah, there we go. Dikra past Dustin there. Moved himself into P2. Is going to chase down Domska. Lost a bit of time there. Crucially. The fact that he now has clean air and can push, I don't see a way for Domska to win this race, straight up. Dikra seems to have a chokehold on this. It seems that the 2-stop is way faster than anything else. Dustin is now also into the pits. That's quite early. He might also be switching into a 2-stop. I think that might be what's happening. And it might be that other drivers may have missed that the tires can go very quickly. And that the softs are just faster, maybe. I don't know exactly what happened. We'll have to ask during the interviews. It seems like there's an obvious faster strategy that some people may have missed. This is unfortunate, right? This is very unfortunate. If everybody has the same strategy, it's a lot more exciting of a race. It looks like Dikra has a very strong strategy. It's going to take an upset for Domska to win this. Now, Domska's pace is pretty good here. It has to be said. Dikra is getting closer. Quite fast, actually. It's I don't know if Domska will have to defend. That's what it will have to do. Going to have to defend, and then he's going to have to stop, and then he needs to be faster after his stop. Now, the last part is very, very difficult, because he's currently in a fuel disadvantage. Currently, his fuel is low, but his tires are not great, right? So he can't fully take advantage of that. Dikra will have relatively low fuel. It won't be lower than Domska. His tires are fresh. And I'm suspecting that there's a tire difference as well. I think Dikra is either on the mediums or softs, and Domska will be on the mediums or hards. We don't have that information, unfortunately, so we can't check. Yeah, Apex also, after all of the stops, currently in P7, I would say make a screenshot of that, hang it on your wall. Whether he's gonna finish there, unlikely. Hey, it's not out of the question. Michel Moustache also into the pits right now. I do see Cavallor and Dustin catching up to Apex. Now Cavallor and Dustin have stopped. We saw that earlier. Ahead of Apex is a lot of clean air though, and that will be very attractive to Cavallor. Cavallor will want to make this pass. So will Dustin. Actually, it seems like Cavallor and Dustin are going to fight amongst themselves before they fight with Apex. Apex's pace is pretty strong. It is also, because Apex is later on the stint, his car will be lighter. He has been quite good on his tires, seemingly. Questions about Domska, though? Oh, sorry. Okay, Apex went to the pits. That's what I was seeing. Cavallor in P7, ahead of Dustin. Dustin, I don't think he's very happy about that outcome after pit stops. He will want to be ahead of Cavallor. Domska, only 4 seconds is the gap to Dikra. Has the strategy difference not paid off? Provided there is one. Now there is still the fact that Dikra needs to stop again. Domska also has to stop, of course, so that 3 second gap should be pretty accurate. But if Domska doesn't have to refuel as much, which I find very hard to believe, but let's say he doesn't have to refuel, maybe he gains 5 seconds back. It's still going to be pretty difficult because his style of descent is going to be much heavier. It's going to be tough for Domska to win this. There's not out of the question. There will be track combat, on-track combat between him and Dikra. Also assuming that Dikra is on a 2-stop and not on a 3-stop, which would be wild. But it's you know, maybe makes a fuel miscalculation, we can see it. So, Brandon's currently in P3, Marcus in P4 after what was a more than disappointing start. But he's fully fought himself back and he's actually faster than Domska right now as well. I don't think he has stopped yet. Silver is now also stopping. I think Silver might be the earliest driver to stop to be on a 1-stop. Will be on the same strategy as Domska, Randers and Marcus. Provided that is the case. It also means that Silver will be a little bit slower out of the box, but he does come out in P9. Ahead of Notabene, who is fighting Michael for this 10th place. Bernardine and Das are quite close together. Now Das had a very solid qualifying performance. Being best of the midfield essentially. But his race I don't think has gone his way. I'm trying to find his feet maybe. Long runs are much different than hot lapping. There's different skills that come out here. You can see it in the opposite way as well. Oh, I think he went... no, might be a little bit of lag. You can see it in the opposite way as well. Looking at, for example, this man, Cavallor, who is now behind us. I think he's made a mistake, actually. He's made quite a major mistake. So, oops. Dustin is LP6. Ahead of Cavallor. Do I have another example here? Yeah, Silver. Silver's doing a great job. Doesn't have the pace, but he's consistent. So the opposite way, maybe, you know, if you have too much pace, but you can't, you know, well, too much pace. If you have a lot of pace, but you can't show it every lap, like how much is it worth? Seems to be maybe what Das is struggling with, relative to the drivers around him. Because driving this carbon is heavy, for starters. So it'll be quite different. Now, what is also quite interesting here is Dikra is very close to Domska. It's almost caught up, like, snuck up a bit, and it did. And look at that, just in time. Dikra side by side with Domska. Now, that's not going to be a pass. He's on the outside. There's genuinely no way. Around the outside here, then, that's a bit tricky. He's only looking, not actually doing it. But here, setting up a little bit of a switchback, and that's clever. You can get a good exit here with a bit of slipstream. He's taking all of it. On the outside for the next corner, then. Looking on the left side. Late on the brakes. Oh, it's good defense from Domska. Pushing Dikra wide. And he's fighting for his life there. He's fighting for a win here, Domska. But it's not enough. Dikra goes ahead after he's a full pit stop. Well, he's done a full pit stop, right? Dikra is essentially a pit stop ahead of Domska. And I think by now you can conclude he's a pit stop ahead of literally everyone in the field. Dikra has done, well, a strategical masterclass. It's very rare that we get to say this about the Ferrari, but anything is possible in sim racing. Cavolo fighting Gomestos, also moving ahead to 7th place. Ferrari drivers doing extremely well today. And we have another retirement. I feel like... who would that be? I think it's Ryder Dye that unfortunately retired. And that seems to be the case. Unfortunately, no points for him for the Lotus team. Let's see. Is there any bet going on right now? Well, Domska has already lost touch to Dikra. Unfortunately, just doesn't have the pace today to keep up with Dikra and didn't have the strategy. I think that's very important to call as well. Was there anything he could do as after the lights went off? Well, honestly, not really, no. Sometimes you just pick your strategy and you're gonna have to hope that it's the better one. It doesn't appear to be the case today. Dikra has determined correctly that the two-stop seems to be better. And he will, given no crazy things, as a safety car can turn anything around. If nothing crazy happens, it seems to be that he is going to be awarded with a win. Good insight and good execution, of course. That's also very important. Gomestos fighting with Silva, but Silva getting a very good exit out of that. Look at that little switchback. And yeah, through he goes. Silva in P8. Very, very strong performance from him today. What else is interesting? Well, Marcus, currently in P6. He got nobody around him, by the way. He's essentially hot lapping. He's kind of done what he needed to do after that start. Which was, of course, unfortunate, but nothing he could change about it after it has happened. Pulled himself up to P6. Very much worthy of noting. Gomestos hasn't lost touch to Silva yet, and Silva is moving forwards, trying to catch up to Cavalo. Cavalo should have the pace, though, to maybe keep Silva behind. That the pace gap isn't that big, but it's definitely, and it has happened to me, it's where pressure will start to build up in Cavalo. You've only got to do this for 17 more laps. We're over halfway now. And if you say, oh, that's not only, that's a lot. Yeah, that's yeah. That's the problem. That is the problem. It is still a long race. Michael in the pits for, I think what will be his, I think he's already stopped though, right? Well, he stopped again, and I think he's going to go to the end. Maybe Michael was one of the people that stayed on one stop, but I feel like he hadn't stopped yet. Oh, he had already stopped. Dekra is stopping again ahead of Domschka. Huh? Interesting. But this essentially, I mean, this is clever from Dekra though. This is clever because if you can call your opponent's pit stop, there's like no strategy shenanigans that can happen. The safety car is covered now. Well, it would already be covered. I don't know. Like, you get to be ahead on the same everything. There's actually there's a car in between. So, a big win there. It's a shorter pit stop as well. You get some free time, and your pace will be, given everything, given driver skill being equal, the pace will be equal. Tikra very, very clever today. Puts himself into a very, very strong spot to win this race. Dustin in P2. Domschka now in P3. Randers has dropped behind Marcus. So Marcus is in P4, which is very good to be there at all. I think he still has to stop again, but to be there at all after what happened at the start. Actually, I don't think Marcus has stopped yet. To be there at all, I think is very impressive. Silva and Cavalo are fighting. Silva has caught up to Cavalo. Cavalo now has to defend it. It does so successfully for now through the Schumacher S's. They're actually a hairpin where they're fighting. Oh, that's unique. You can see Silva just has slightly better pace. Making it past is it's a different kind of fight. Different kind of sport. Around the outside then for this chicane. It is possible if you're a little bit ahead, and that's exactly how Silver has done it. And Cavalo goes into the pits. Gerald Smith moves up past Cavalo. Probably still needs to stop. It is not definitive, but Cavalo will be able to go to the end. I think he will be thrilled, even if that's not a permanent fixture. Domschka is behind chasing, and he is probably running out of fuel before the end of the race. So we'll need to stop again. Cavalo behind Apex. Also has to be noted that the Minardi of Apex has done a very good job today. Apex doesn't have any points yet in the standings. His teammate has 1 point. Today he will be able, provided he ends where he is, he will be able to get Minardi the points that they are driving for. But the retirement of Sorrow earlier, and Ride or Die later, there is not much space in terms of drivers that won't be getting a point. Only 2. Currently that's Michael and Michael. Funnily enough, Michael is about to change that. Notabene is very close ahead of him. Driver driving for under the South African flag in Notabene, having to defend. I do think he's fully going for this defense. Not giving Michael an inch. That's very wise, because giving Michael an inch often ends in Disaster. And speaking of disaster, Marcus has passed Domska. I don't know if that's because Marcus has no fuel left and is driving on pure pace of the car, pure willpower. And Domska fueled up, of course, to the end of the race. Marcus is looking very fast, though. In fact, I think if we look at the timings, you see his last lap time is actually comparable to the leader of the race, Dikra. And nobody else really is. Everybody's like 9/10ths behind in the case of Dustin, and everybody else is even further behind. Marcus, incredibly quick right now. He's doing it on a fairly empty tank. Wait, is Dikra going for is he going to stop again? Dikra going for a 3-stop. Where everybody else went for a 1-stop. And some went for a 2-stop, to be fair. It seems like Dikra has decided, you know what? We just fuel up for a short run. Push. Do it again. And it seems to work. He's fast. He is so fast. And now that he has done this, this could change the season. Because we didn't see this. Oh, and he makes a mistake. Dikra makes a mistake. Oh, that could be crucial. That could be crucial. Sliders will feel the damage from that a little bit. That could make all the difference. Because if he still needs to stop again, I'm convinced that he does. He's very much... He's got a very unique strategy today. And now that he has done this, we didn't see this in Interlagos. Everybody had a fairly normal strategy. In fact, I think Dikra went relatively long. He's shown that a very, very aggressive strategy, we're thinking Ferrari in the early 2000s, that can work in these cars, in this context of this championship. And because he has done that, everybody's going to see this, not just on stream, but, well, right now, people will see, oh, he stopped again. Oh, he stopped again halfway through the race. That's early. He's doing a 3-stop. It is stopping more often, faster in these cars. People are going to try this, and for the next race, in 2 weeks, of two weeks time to prepare, they will have tried this. They will know if that is going to be faster. If the tires are going to hold, and if you can actually like summon that pace, if you can drive that. The same vein though, it might actually, like if you are Marcus, you see Dikra stop again halfway through the race. He hasn't blinked. He still hasn't stopped, but he's going long. He's going to try to stop again, make his last one, and make it quick. Make sure that he has a lot of pace in the car. I think that's what he needs, to be fair. He will have Randus to battle ahead of him. It's going to be a bit of a pace battle in their case, but Silver and Geralt might be on-track battles, depending on how long his stop is. If we can get a little bit closer, that would be ideal. But Dustin is stopping him, though. Dustin is going into the pits. Dustin is going to box. That will be his last stop. I'm fairly confident in saying that. I don't think he's stopping again after 6 laps. That would be crazy. Marcus now in P2, clear air. Will be able to push everything that's in this car all the way out of it. Seems like going long was the strategy for him. And it's worked out so far behind early. And now driving in P2. Very much a virtual position. But also look at where Dustin is going to come out. Silver is on the start-finish straight. Dustin is coming out. Dustin is ahead. That is interesting. If Marcus can push 1 or 2 more laps, he could overtake Dustin in the overcut fashion. But he could also stay ahead of Silver and Geralt. That would be crucial. That would give him a fighting chance against Randus. Notabene has had to concede the position to Michael, who's currently in P12. I assume he's going to the end, so might be able to pick up a couple of positions because people are still boxing. That's now in the pits. Mestos might do that later as well. I think what for Michael started as a fairly promising race has turned into a little bit of a disaster. Don't know exactly why that happened, but we'll have to ask him in the interviews at the end of the race. Of course, stick around for those. They are always interesting. I was always able to add details that, well, we certainly don't have the data for. What strategy they went for, why they went for it, any incidents that we missed. A lot of it is mentioned. You get to know the drivers a little bit. They all have different characters. Some people love to yap. I have to ask a small question and they will fill the time. Some people give very short answers. Silver, also in the pits. It will be his last stop as well. We'll be able to push for a little while. Okay, it looks like he missed his box, but it's actually perfect. Okay, very good job. Decra still ahead. 10 laps to go. I assume we'll see him in the box in, let's say, 1 or 2 laps. Lap 27 is my bet. If he stops now, I'll be a little surprised. Apex also in the pits. In P2, Domska is behind, and I assume... No, Domska is not faster. Domska's losing time to Marcus, and quite a bit actually. So Marcus... Well, Marcus is a very light car right now. When Marcus stops, I think we'll have a fighting chance. At least against Randers, and maybe even Domska. And that will be a bit of an upset. Now let's see exactly where he comes out. Stopping a little bit earlier than the leader. Decra still going. We're still expecting him to box later. Domska drives past Marcus. Dustin will be next. But is Dustin actually going to go past? I'm not sure, because Marcus is already out. He's at the end of the straight. And Dustin has been overcut. The moment we knew would come has finally arrived. And now Marcus can push. Marcus has a fresh set of tires. Relatively light car. It will be the same weight, I think, as those around him. If Randers is going to the end, he does have to deal with a tire disadvantage. Randers does. Domska is quite far ahead. 14 seconds. It will take quite the effort for Marcus to be a second faster than, let me remind you, the champion 2 seasons ago, right? This man is fast. And it was in comparable cars as well. The real winner here, it has to be Decra. But I assume that he still has to stop. Domska is currently still in range to be ahead after that stop. But it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to hold on to if your tires aren't up to snuff. His fuel level will be equal. It's hard to tell. It should be about equal because as soon as everybody is stopped for the last time, that's when you can be certain that the gaps in fuel are the smallest. At least for the people that can do maths. And people that drive consistently enough that the fuel consumption is the same every lap. There are some caveats, but they're not very big. Apex is fighting Domestos, and this is 4 points, of course, in the championship. Apex already has 3 points behind his name, essentially where he stands. Domestos going for 4 points, but they can swap those amounts. Apex can make a move. Now, probably not here. Going to have to try somewhere else. And he's actually not going to try it, always going to go into the pits. So they stop one last time. And I fear that P9 is just going to be out of reach. Michael in P11 will be overtaking Apex, and Notabene probably as well. That's something to keep Apex occupied. And there we see what we've been so excited for. D-Crab, where is he going to come out? Domska. You got a hole. You got to go. Come on. He has to get ahead. If he doesn't get ahead, I will have... Did you see that? Did you see that? Well, hang on. I want a close-up of that man. He did a flip. But Domska is not ahead, actually. Domska is not ahead. He's too far away. D-Crab didn't have to fuel that much. D-Crab remains leader of this race. Domska is behind. That gap is simply too big. He's not going to be able to close that. And it's not just a gap in time. Let's be clear. D-Crab has been so quick today. And provided he makes no more mistakes, we have seen him make one. And there's room for another, well, I don't know, 1 lap, 2 a lap if he likes it. It's not over yet. It's not over until he crosses the line. But he's got one hand on that gold medal, and last time I said that, it was immediately taken away. Yeah, he really looks like the man to beat this season. His pace unequal to anyone, and we also have to, of course, look at Marcus. If Marcus, I really like to look at the timings. What is he doing compared to the people around him? Well, unfortunately for him, no, I'm sorry, I'm looking weirdly. No, he's definitely a lot faster than Randers. Randers is going to have to hold on to this P3. He's going to have to drive for it. Try to keep up a very strong pace that Marcus is going to be able to match or beat. And then when Marcus arrives, because I think he will, Randers is going to need to defend. And I do see his pace is struggling. It's not looking as smooth as it normally is. As for Domska, well, he's not catching up to the as it stands, I think. Look at the timings real quick. His last lap was faster than Decred. Decred, you know, still getting the tires up to where they need to be. Marcus is still faster than him. I don't think that gap is big enough. We'll see if I am wrong. I've been wrong before. I would gladly be wrong again about this race. Now, a late safety car could do a lot to this race. But safety cars have been exceptionally rare in this championship. It was season 5 where it didn't appear at all, so Michael, I think, made a bit of a mistake. Gaffalo now into the pits again for the last time. I would dare well hope. Silver in P7. He did stop relatively recently, so I do think it will be a P7 for Silver. I think we'll be very happy with that. Very good for the Williams team. Picking up a lot of points. Randers. P3 right now, also for the Williams team. Looking very strong, however. Look at the car behind. It's getting closer and closer. 3 seconds is the gap. It's going to close slowly but surely. Entering lap 30 out of 35. 6 to go. Michael is behind Das right now. But after a couple of stops here and there, being demoted quite far back. Still every chance to fight. I do see Das is actually quite close to Notabene. Notabene, it's been a lot of fighting. Oh, but it's late. Oh, Das. No, okay, I think it's just a little bit of lag, but it did look a little late. I do think he's lost touch a little bit, but not as dramatic as it looked. It wasn't as dramatic. I'm noticing Marcus still catching to Randers, but the gap is shrinking not as fast as some might have thought it would. It might be that in certain parts of the track Marcus is faster, and that's where he makes a difference. I also think Randers is picking up the pace again a little bit. That's not true, actually. He's now down to 2 seconds. It's about a second a lap. That's pretty big. While that is developing, we have something that has fully developed here. That's Notabene in a proper fight. Notabene is quite a good driver. Doesn't have the pace of the leaders. Not many people do. I'm certainly not one of those people that does. Daz is doing a very good job here fighting. Notabene positioning his car perfectly. Leaving not enough space for Daz to point his nose in. Kind of, you know, not inviting him to the inside. That's the whole point of it. When he does go wide, oh, and I don't know if that's lag, but that is a spun around car of, oh, I don't know who. Was it Domska? I think it might have been Domska. That was had a collision there. I think there is a lag issue with Das, unfortunately. He does need to save his replay. Then we can check for sure. Seems to be a little bit of a lag issue. Hopefully for Domska it won't have any consequences, but Marcus is still fast. I can actually quickly verify. It was either Domska or Mestos, and it's much more likely that it was Domska because it was right around there, coincidentally. Marcus is getting close. This is unwatchable. I forgot. Marcus is getting closer. Randers is also close up to Domska quite a bit, unfortunately, because of that accident. I think that's fair to say. It's currently not really relevant. Marcus has a couple of laps to try and take the podium place away from Randers. Randers would love another P3. Absolutely would love it. But it's looking like a complete masterclass for Marcus, to be fair. And I really do believe, if that incident at the start hadn't happened, Marcus would be here fighting for the win. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that. Unfortunately, what happened, happened. And there he goes, Marcus on the inside of Randers. And there's nothing Randers can do. Marcus seems to be gone. Going into the chicane then. Yeah, he just covers it up. Nothing Randers can do about it. It's going to be a P3 for Marcus as it stands. I will say Randers is not fully out of it yet. He is trying to hold on, and who could blame him? It might actually not be without merit. Marcus has pushed his tires quite far, and he's going to continue pushing them because he wants a chance, even if it's just a chance, to take that second place away from Domska. Just to show how strong of a race it could have been for him today, had it not been for that start. Just got a little bit of a slipstream from his teammate. We'll continue to enjoy that for a little bit, I think. What he does here doesn't mess him up too much. I think we are definitely looking at what I would call the driver of the day today. Marcus has had such a strong race after such a misfortunate start, ending up way in the back, having to fight. Yeah, his teammate just lets him go. Of course, blue flags. He has to, but also good teammate. Had it not been for that start, what could have been. We won't get to experience it, but we do get to imagine it, and maybe next race we'll get to see it. What can Marcus do? Well, drag a car from all the way to the back, being held up by so many people. He was 20 seconds behind very early in this race to the leader Dikra. Very early, and now so many laps later, it is again 20 seconds. Now his pace is not there with Dikra right now, and that's probably because he had to fight, he had to push a lot harder. But what a performance it has been. It is those quiet races that really show racing is not all about the battles. Racing is not all about being wheel to wheel, side by side, through turn 1, turn 2. It's also about the fortitude of doing very strong laps, one after another. Understanding your car, your tyres, your fuel level. Understanding exactly how to drive it all. And bring home what is a very strong result without being dealt the cards. It's making the best of a bad situation that earns you respect. But also earns you respect, of course, with complete and utter dominance. Dikra is starting the last lap of the race as he laps a couple of cars. We're on board with Apex there, who is fighting Gomestos. Gomestos, I think, taking advantage of the situation there. Very fair, very well done. Dikra has been dominant. He's been dominant since, what is it, halfway through last year, when the season 6 started. We're in season 7 now. He has not slowed down. It is as if last season we were looking at 2023 Max Verstappen, and we're now at the start of 2024, where it looks like exactly what has happened at the end of last season is happening again. It seems to be even worse this time. Dikra, nobody can even match him. It is not a battle. Last season we saw Domska very close, and it was Dikra that came out on top through circumstance often. But now it's just no measure to him. Dikra with the number 1 on that Ferrari is showing what he is worth. A promotion to a very strong team, of course. And a Ferrari strategy today, that worked. He's going through the chicane for the last time. And the final hairpin that he will say today. On the start finish straight, it is your race winner for a second time this season. And continuing a very strong campaign to extend his championship. Now Marcus has got very close to Domska, but it's looking just too little, just too late. Domska just needs a good exit here. It is again a bit of a drag race to the finish line, but this finish line is simply too close. It is Domska in P2, Marcus in a super impressive P3, I will have to say. I think he can be extremely happy with that. It is nothing to take away from that. That is a very well-earned P3. Yeah, almost more impressive than the P1. But I'm still very impressed with what Dikra can do in this car. After all was said and done, Michael did manage to pick up a point. And of Nota Bene and Michael Moustache. And I believe if we look at the timings, we'll see the fastest lap for, of course, Dikra. What a bit of a disaster stream, unfortunately, because of performance issues. But what an interesting race that was. What an interesting race in the context of the championship. What a championship we have ahead of us. So after what is a 3-stop strategy, very well executed, Dikra takes home that win. You can see the strategy differences here. Cavalo's teammate did the same thing. Worked out not as well for him, but he is almost best of the rest. Silva in P7, also very impressive from him. So a shocking last race. Very well done today. I have to save the replay. And we look down the field. We've got a couple of retirements in Ride or Die and Sorrow. Sorrow didn't make it very far, had too much lag, decided to leave it to not hamper others. Okay, see, the one stop is still very popular near the top, right? Domska did it, Randers did it, Gerald Smith did it. But Marcus, Dustin, Silver, they all 2 stopped. But then the winner of the race, 3 stops. That is crazy. That is not something you see often in modern Formula One. I guess this is why people want refueling back, and I see it. I understand it. Very well done to the race winner. We're going to move to post-race procedure. What do we normally do? Well, we quickly reflect back on what exactly happened today, the race results. 26 points go to Dikra, 20 points to Domska. Marcus VR gets 16 for a very well-deserved podium. And then we go down. Randers, Dustin, Gerald, and so on. Exactly as was shown earlier. Well, Silver, of course, very impressive. Cavalo, super impressive. Gomestos, I do want to point out, was won last race for a bit of an incident. Cleaned up his act. Gets a good number of points behind his name. I think he will be quite happy with that. Who else do we have? We have Apex. 3 points for the Minardi team. Very happy. That's 4 times the points they have now. Das gets 11 points, and Michael, the Red Bull Sauber 14, gets an extra point on top of the 16 that Marcus earned. Nothing to sneeze at. And then we've got Notabene and Michael, who did finish but did not earn any points. And then Ride or Die and Sorrow walk away with nothing. They did not finish. Do feel bad for Sorrow. I feel like he had a very strong case to make today. But it wasn't to be. Oh, I've made a small error, but we can keep going. Okay. Next, we have the driver standings. After that, what does it change? Well, nothing at the top. Dikra, dominant. 52 points ahead of 40 for Domska. Keep in mind, Domska got second both races. That gap is already 12 points. That is pretty big. Not impossible to clear, of course. We're only 2 races in. Anything is possible to clear still. But, yeah, it's looking like Dikra, definitely the man to beat here. Randers in P3. After, of course, a 3rd place finish last race and a 4th place finish today. Still very good points behind his name. Marcus after a podium finish. P4. We've got Gerald and Dustin. Hang on, I need to zoom in. Are they equal on points? Oh, yes, they are. I think they will be happy with that. That's very funny. Now, Cavalo, Michael. We've got Silver, Gomestos, Sorrow in P11, and Apex in P12. Then Daniel Gilligan wasn't here today, but he's still in 13th. Then we've got Das after his first outing as a reserve driver, already 2 points by the name. P14 will be happy with that. And then JJ wasn't here today. Was briefly there for qualifying, didn't join the race, unfortunately. P15. Then we've got Ride or Die, Notabene, Michael Moustache. One of me couldn't make it, unfortunately, today. He was intending to, but it was an emergency, couldn't make it. Then we got Ditto, also couldn't make it today. Jetlin, Domi, Kiezo joined last race. Jonathan, same thing, but not here today. And that is all of the driver standing. Team standings, just as interesting, although a Ferrari looking very strong on top. 40 in 2nd place with 46 points. And we've got the Benetton team, 40 points, with both drivers on 20 points, which is very aesthetic. Williams in 4th place ahead of the Red Bull team. And then there's a massive gap. We've got the Tyrrell, the Minardi, McLaren, the Jordan, and 2 teams with no points yet, the Ligier and the Lotus team. I will say Lotus has very much potential. They just haven't been able to score. Ultimate Keys' case, he hasn't actually been able to drive. So there's all opportunity there later. And Keys is a very fast driver. So we'll be back. Small break. I will get some drivers for you for an interview. There will be a small ad, a little bit of music. Grab a drink. relax a little bit. It's been an intense race again. So yeah, in a bit. All right, welcome back to the interviews. We have, well, at least 4 people in the list right now that would all like to join. We're going to, of course, start with the dominant race winner, and would love to hear from him what happened exactly. From Dikra, hello and congratulations.
Yeah, hello Findict, and thank you.
So, very interesting race today. Um, yeah, just tell us what happened. Was this the plan from the start? Why did you think of it? And yeah, that is.
Yeah, so mm, originally this wasn't the plan. When I began training for the Nürburgring, my plan was to just do a one stop as I had done in Interlagos, and where I still think this was the best strategy. And I would have done that, but the league does some practice race at Wednesday. And in that practice race, Steven chose a strategy that made me a little bit curious. The practice race I have to add to that is shorter than the race that we did today, and he did 15 laps on, or I think something like that, 15 laps on the hard tires, and then changed to the soft tires. And when he changed to the soft tires, he suddenly was 1.5 seconds per laps quicker than me. And at the time, I didn't really appreciate how big of a gap that was. And it was just today that I thought, when driving on the practice server, wait a second, if I gain 1.5 seconds per lap, then that's an entire stop after 12, 13 laps. And with the one stop, I have to do 18 laps, so that doesn't compute. And the only strategy that also came to mind was a two stop. And with the two stop, I thought you had to go very long on the hard tires, and it basically ended up being a one stop. So I thought it was going to be a little slower because you had to do a lot of laps on these hard tires, or you had to do a lot of fuel on the soft tires later on when you change them. So I thought, okay, let's fix that by just going three stops. And at first it seemed a little crazy to me, but I calculated it out by the average lap time that I was doing, and I ended up at around 20 seconds ahead of the one stop and around 5 seconds ahead of the two stops. So I decided to go for it, especially after the qualifying wasn't too great. And yeah, it worked out like a treat. I again was a bit lucky. I think Domschka chose the wrong strategy with the one stop. And Steven also let himself be talked into doing a one stop despite his plan on Wednesday working pretty well, because at the time of Wednesday, I still was pretty skeptical of anything involving the soft tires. So I practically misled him, though it wasn't intentional, I promise. And yeah, I think the only one who could have really endangered this race with the strategy he was on was Marcus. He was also very, very quick in qualifying. He was quicker than me. And I think he would have been a very, very strong opponent in the race, but he just got taken out by the laggy Sorrow in the first lap. And that was pretty much the race done because the strategy worked out as I planned. The only thing that could have thrown me off was a safety car, but there was none. So it was a pretty uneventful race for me, at least.
Yeah, very interesting. Of course, it was a bit of an uneventful race for you, but it does show. It's eventful in a different way because I guess if you just found out, oh, if I go on the softs, it's just so much faster. I can do 2 extra stops and still be the one stop. Um, do you think that's gonna change how people build their strategy for the rest of the season?
I'm sure it's going to be looked at. Not necessarily for the next track, and I think in general, this probably works best on tracks that A, are very cold, because you need low temperatures to get the soft tires to work, otherwise, they will overheat. And second, you also need some corners to make the tire advantage matter. And I think this will maybe be a problem for Hockenheim or an X race. But then again, it could be that the soft tires will be viable there anyway, because you basically only drive straight and they don't wear during that.
Yeah, well,
So I think it's mainly viable for cold tracks with a lot of corners.
yes. So yeah, there's definitely something people can check out for the next race anyway. They have 2 weeks to do it, of course, and it might change the whole dynamic of certainly some races for the rest of the season. But yeah, we'll see how things turn out then. Um, so you've won the first 2 races, both in very strong fashion, I would say. Uh, I think it's fair to say you are the favorite for this season. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I mean, after the first two races, I have to be, but I have to say that in the first race, I got a bit lucky with traffic and then was able to drive away. I wouldn't have been able to if there was no traffic involved. So that could have also been a three-way fight. And in this race, I just had the best strategy, I think, or at least a very, very competitive strategy compared to all the rivals. So I'm not sure that it's gonna stay this dominant. I mean, 15 or 20 seconds gaps to the second person is not what will be usual this season, because I think we saw it in qualifying and we also saw it in the race that Domska is very, very competitive, but as of yet hasn't been able to get it together. And I think in Hockenheim he will be very, very strong, because that's a track I struggle with, and he, I think, did very well with the 95 cars. So let's see about that. And if I win that too, it starts to get difficult for him. But my thing is, I have a quality disadvantage. I'm probably not gonna be on pole again because I struggle with qualifying. Simple as that. So I think the
And unfortunately, that is where the recording cut out. I had a lot of technical difficulties during that race, and unfortunately caught up with me all the way at the end during interviews, thankfully, and no earlier, because losing the race would be very dreadful. But yeah, lost a couple of interviews. Decrash was cut off as well, so that is unfortunately how it is. Quick summary of what was said though. With a couple of drivers on, Decrash, Domska, and Marcus were all there, the whole podium. We got Dustin as well, and Das as well after that. Quickly summarize what the first four people said, Decra up till Dustin, because it was mostly the same, although there's some nuances. We'll talk through that. About the new strategy that was found that Decra made work. Running on softs is great on that track because you get to really use the tires in the corners. That's what he mentioned, so that's why he thought it was so effective. But in future tracks, for example, next week we're going to the old Hockenheim ring. That is not a guarantee. It's a lot of long straights. It is some chicanes here and there. You will not use the tires as much. Now, maybe it's still faster. They will have to find out. I'm sure they will still check it. They will still try it. But there are significant doubts, and that's fair. So it won't be every track that will see this, but it's definitely always an option. That's going to add a layer of strategy to the season that we didn't expect beforehand. In terms of how Domska and Marcus felt, they kind of felt the same, ironically. Marcus was, of course, very frustrated because he felt like his strategy was good, but didn't get the opportunity, early accident. And that's basically it for him. For Domska, he very quickly realized Dikar is on a different strategy. He's on the softs. It might be faster. And I think after his second stop, seeing the pace Dikar had, then he realized, he's just going to be on softs the whole time. He's much faster than me. There's nothing I can do, and that's very frustrating for him. She still have to finish the race from then, try to not make any mistakes. But yeah, very frustrating for him. Next time we'll get an opportunity to strike back. Marcus will have the same opportunity, of course. As for Dustin, I think he's also a little bit frustrated with, I wouldn't say lack of performance. P5 is good in this field, but he's definitely not as fast in this car or at this stage. Well, since a recent update. So he's hoping to find that back. He even took to AI to try and make his setup for him. Sent some screenshots like, hey, what can I improve? And he followed ChatGPT's suggestions for like a practice session, and it cost him 1.5 seconds roughly per lap. So AI is not there yet. Unfortunately, ChatGPT does not know the specifics of AMS2 setup. I'm not actually sure. I don't think it knows anything about race setup at all. It will say things that sound correct, but a lot of race setup is just trying things, and seeing if they work for you. And even as Max Verstappen said recently in an interview, you always have to keep trying different things. It's not obvious what's going to work and what isn't going to work. So you just gotta keep trying things. So yeah. That's it for those guys. Das was also on. He said he really enjoyed the race. Man, a few words, but was very happy to join, and hopefully will join us again in the future, which he said he intended to do. So yeah, very good first race for him as well. P11, 2 points for him. Yeah. For next time, hopefully, I do hope to God that the issues are fixed. In order to test whether they are or not, I will like do a stream probably on the day that this video releases. You can ignore it. I'm just there to check out that the encoder doesn't overload again, which was the issue. The encoding took like 70-80% of my CPU, which is not it's not supposed to do that. I changed some things. I changed my whole operating system. I'm on Windows 11 now. So hopefully that fixed something that caused it. And otherwise, look, well, we'll see. Hopefully it's better. All right. Thank you so much for watching. If you have been, reminder, of course, that the race will be, well, next week from the time this is uploaded, 1st of March, same time, and we'll go to Hockenheim. See you there. See you then.